overnight is on Reddit. And the comments on Reddit are pretty funny. This one person wrote, warm Danish. And another person wrote, now I'm horngry, which kind of disappoints me because I thought I invented the expression horngry and I was the only person that uses it. Every time you think you're original, you find out it's been done a million times before. I think that's one of the craziest things about the interwebs. Every time you come up with a premise, like if I come up with a clever tweet, something that I'm going to say online, and I think it's completely original, invariably, if I just pop that into Google and add the word Twitter to the Google search, there's going to be sort of like 20 or 30 jokes already up there with the same premise, which is disappointing. But also, I don't know, maybe encouraging to know that there are like-minded thinkers out there, also with six senses of humor. Funkhauser, let's roll through what remains of the news, and then we'll talk about Rand Paul.
Alrighty. Excuse me. Where were we? The Prime Minister of Israel addressed Congress yesterday, Netanyahu, over President Obama's objection.
The reason for the hostility between Netanyahu and Obama is that, well, the two leaders have been feuding over whether the Palestinian flag looks like it's white and gold or blue and black, and they can't agree on it.
I still say blue and black.
What else is going on in the world?
A study says that if you drink with friends, you'll drink more.
Right, especially if one of your friends is David Hasselhoff. But not if one of your friends is Bill Cosby, because, one and done. What else?
A new study shows using Facebook can lead to serious depression.
I believe it. I just saw a receptionist's latest pictures of her cat and her dressed in matching sailor suits, and I'm about ready to slip my wrist. What else?
AOL is debuting a new half-hour reality show called Connected, featuring New Yorkers documenting their lives on handheld camcorders.
Leave it to America Online to be the only ones who still use handheld camcorders.
They got it on a discount.
Yeah, you can shoot in 1080p using an iPad, but whatever. Go on.
A survey, lots of surveys today. A survey finds that most prostitutes are satisfied with their job.
Well, yeah. Lots of perks like good pay, flexible hours, and if he's in a sharing mood, cocaine from Charlie Sheen. Let's see.
And finally...
Yeah, let's one more piece of news, and then
Okay.
I'm just looking at the time.
There's
got a lot to say about Rand.
There's a new wearable device that gives you an alert 10 minutes before you need to poop.
How does it know? No idea?
I don't know.
I would imagine that currently the only way to calculate when you're going to need to poop is, 30 minutes after eating Taco Bell. Yeah, there you go. Do you ever have any foods that you just know, like, okay, I'm going to eat this, and then I can't?
Yeah, I had Cajun food last week. Never had Cajun food before. I heard the stories, and it happened to me.
Yeah, yeah. See, in Texas, in Houston, it's a hop, skip, and a jump away to Louisiana. And there's a lot of sort of like cross-pollination between Houston, where I do a lot of my working and hanging out and living. There's a big cross-pollination between New Orleans and Houston. Like, people in Houston, when they grow up, they'll probably go to UT, Texas A&M, or if they're really feeling adventurous, they're going to go all the way to Louisiana, go to Tulane or something like that. And they bring back with them traditions like crawfish boils and stuff of that nature. So there's a lot of Cajun food in Houston, and it is delicious. But make no mistake, it's food that you don't so much buy as rent, and it will work its way through you remarkably quickly. Go to a crawfish boil, and I'll show you a well-attended bathroom at whatever the hell restaurant you're going to. It's disgusting. Isn't it weird that, like, certain foods, I don't think about the food, I just think about the poop that they're going to cause, like the intestinal distress. Like, it might be delicious, but all you can think of is the fact that you're going to have a burrito-related jihad going on in your stomach after you eat at Taco Bell. So that's, like, instantly I think of diarrhea when I think of Taco Bell.
I've read the end of this book. I know how this one ends.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this one has an explosive ending, similar to me. My ending will be explosive in about a half hour.
Tommy, do you remember all that lying to your friends? Like when you stole my guitar and you sold it so you can't eat that Vicodin. How does it feel to be knowing that you let everybody who cares about you let them down? Till he doesn't even know he's kidding himself about why no one takes his calls or ever wants him around. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. You just can't stop, you just can't quit, and all your friends are so sick of it. Wasted again. Just another night in your never-ending story. Tommy's going to jail after he got caught holding for somebody else. No, it's never his fault. And when Tommy gets out,
delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, some folks were like, hey, who do you like for president in 2016? Rand Paul? You seem like a libertarian. I suppose, really, like, if you want to identify me, the closest sort of like political affiliation that would make sense, if we're going by someone else's definition and not mine, would be libertarian. Just in that, I believe in me as an individual liberty, individual ability to get the job done, individual need to not have anything to do with as much government as possible. And so for that reason, I kind of, by other people's definition, fit into that mold. And man, I had hippie parents growing up. And what do you do when you want to rebel against your hippie parents? You do what I did. You move to Texas and you start calling yourself a Republican. And it was right around the time of Hurricane Katrina when I saw what a pig's ear Bush made of the whole situation. Just unconscionably bumbling and awful, and just it made me go, okay, all right. Till there's a Republican that I feel like I can stand behind, F this. I'm a conservative independent. And the moment you say you're a conservative independent, people start saying, "Oh, you seem to be a libertarian." And I went, "Libertarian? What's that?" And then, people explain what libertarian is, and on paper it sounds great. But the moment you start calling yourself a libertarian, a bunch of pot-smoking rednecks invite you over to do bong rips and look at their collections of AR-15s. And thanks, no, I'll pass. So I don't subscribe to any political party because I don't want to have to throw in behind someone just because of a name. an increasingly meaningless name, an increasingly meaningless political label. Republican, Libertarian, Democrat, Liberal, Tea Party, all of it means nothing. Zip, zing, nada. It's an idea that people want you to subscribe to because they know if they can get you to invest into an idea, then they can do all sorts of things under the guise of an idea that have nothing to do with what's right or what works for you. But because you've already said, I'm a libertarian, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, you're going to back them all the way. So no names, no labels, and no Rand Paul as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of my libertarian friends are going, oh, wait, I've got Libertarian Wood over Rand Paul. How could you not be behind him? Ooh, I'll tell you. And it has a lot to do with the fact that he plagiarized a whole lot of stuff. Rand Paul, son of Ron Paul, Kentucky senator, libertarian wet dream, busted for plagiarism by USA Today. Also by the folks over at BuzzFeed, too. He said that he made mistakes in crediting his sources. He won't cop to plagiarizing anything. And do you remember, I guess it was about a year ago, it really heated up. Folks over at BuzzFeed said they uncovered a new passage in his book, which, he sells for a profit. Government Bullies. That's nearly identical to a portion of a Forbes magazine article. Lifted it right from there. BuzzFeed also went after him, saying a bunch of paragraphs that Paul wrote in an op-ed in September of last year for the Washington Times were identical to a piece in The Week magazine. Rand Paul tried to dance around it for a little bit. Initially, he said he was being targeted for his ideas, but then he put on his big boy pants and ate it and said, ultimately, I'm the boss, and things go out under my name, so it is my fault. Yeah. That works when your speechwriters copy something for you, but when your book that you're selling for profit contains plagiarized material, that's stealing. He said, I had never intentionally presented anyone's ideas as my own. Ooh, but you kind of sort of did. He also said he intended to be more careful and released a statement that said, in the thousands of speeches and op-eds Senator Paul has produced, he's always presented his own ideas, opinions, and conclusions. Senator Paul also relies on a large number of staff and advisors to provide supporting facts and anecdotes, some of which were not clearly sourced or vetted properly. Going forward, footnotes will be available on request. There have also been occasions where quotations or typesetting indentations have been left out through errors in our approval process. From here forward, quoting, footnoting, and citing will be more complete. But there's like a laundry list of things that he copied and used in speeches. He made a speech recounting the plotline from the film Gattaca, which he took directly from a Wikipedia entry. He gave a speech in 2012, which was a word-for-word ripoff of a Wikipedia entry on the film Stand and Deliver. So this is the Rand Paul formula for making speeches. Think of a movie you like and then copy the description of it from Wikipedia. When he responded to an Obama State of the Union address, it was word for word from a 2011 Associated Press report. When he gave a speech at Howard University, it was ridiculously close to a Focus on the Family magazine article. BuzzFeed reported his book, Government Bullies, contained 3 pages that borrowed really heavily, in a very easy-to-spot way, from a study by the 2003 Heritage Foundation and a passage from the Cato Institute report. When all this started happening, what did Rand Paul do? Go, sorry, I was trying to pass other people's ideas off as my own because I'm too lazy to have my own thoughts and write them down on a piece of paper. I'm a busy guy, so I just stole some stuff and thought that would work. No. He said he was a victim of haters. And he said the footnote police have been dogging me. The footnote police. See, it's one thing to not footnote your material properly and say this is where this is from. But that applies to speeches. When it's books that you're selling to make money off of, that's stealing. That's taking someone else's creation, putting it in your book, calling it your own, and making money off of it. That's stealing. Has nothing to do with, well, he admitted that sometimes things haven't been footnoted properly. He also said, I think the spoken word shouldn't be held up to the same sort of standard that you have if you're